At this time last year, many people were still cleaning up from the derecho that came out of nowhere in mid-May. On July 8th, Hurricane Beryl blew through, knocking out power to nearly 2.7 million households and businesses in the greater Houston area. Centerpoint Energy had thousands of crews working around the clock. Unfortunately, restoration is not as easy as flipping a switch, but hopefully we're better prepared to handle what Mother Nature might send our way this time. Joining us with improvements made over the past year are Nathan Brownell and Tony Gardner with Centerpoint Energy. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, before last year, had you ever heard of a thing called a derecho?
Growing up in Missouri, in the Midwest, it is a common phenomenon that's up there. You know, a wind wall that comes through. It's pretty common. It's not very common down in this area. I think Tony.
Yeah, Tony, you grew up in
I'm a native
Houston.
Houstonian. I have never heard of it.
Yeah, right.
So I've been
You
through
brought
several
it here.
hurricanes,
You
but I've
brought
never
that
heard of
here.
it. I've never. I will openly admit that.
Yeah, but that was tough. I think sometimes people forget, although y'all work with Centerpoint Energy, people forget you're victims of those storms as well. You received a big hit from the derecho as well.
That's right. Yeah, I was, my windows, I've had 5 windows blown out of my office. You know, the crazy thing about the downtown areas, you know, it almost looked like a beach down there with how many windows were blown out. All the glass was down there. It was a devastating event to our community.
Yeah, and so a lot of people, when we're inconvenienced, we're just angry. I was telling you in the green room how several years ago, Hurricane Ike, I actually spent 24 hours with crews out restoring lines. I got it. I realized this is a slow, arduous, tedious process. It can be a dangerous process if you're not careful. And it was miserable work, but it got to be done, right? So not as easy as flipping a switch. But with that said, you all also were able to realize the things that needed to be improved. So we're better prepared for 2025. You addressed, for example, the electric infrastructure.
That's correct. Yeah. So following the storms of last year, we embarked on enhanced investments into our electric grid to improve the reliability and resiliency of our systems. So up to June 1st, we actually completed our Greater Houston Resiliency Initiative ahead of schedule. So we've talked about that a lot with our community. But what that is we installed about 26,000 larger hardened poles. We underground about 400 miles of power lines, trimmed about 6,000 miles of vegetation. We installed over 5,000 automated devices that will kind of self-heal to get customers back on more quickly. And what customers expect is, you know, we're predicting about 125 million minutes of interruptions that would have happened, but they won't now because of this. And so, you know, we're really proud of the efforts that we're doing this year, but we've got a long-term view in this. And so, you know, we're going to continue to these efforts.
Each storm teaches you a lesson. Sometimes it's something new that happens, right?
It does. And the cool thing about the industry that is, we're able to learn from one another. We spent a lot of time with some of our Florida peers, and we've learned about the things that they have done over the last 20 years. And so, you know, we've got a 10-year pretty, you know, detailed plan of how we're going to become the most resilient utility in the coast. And that's a big focus for us.
Yeah, when you talk about trimming vegetation, when you have neighborhoods called the Woodlands or Kingwood or River Oaks, right? We have a lot of vegetation here. It's one of the things we love, but that could also be a big culprit. All right, what I've always appreciated was the communication. So I get the text messages. It is out right now. Here's where we are. Here's the area we're in. Here's what we're working on. And so you've made that even better.
Yes. So Deborah, we spent a lot of time since last storm season making a lot of technological enhancements in terms of the way that we communicate with our customers before, during, and after storms. One of those that I'll touch on real quick is our outage tracker. It is now cloud-based and auto-scalable, meaning how many customers go out and visit the website at one time, it will not crash. You know, one thing that we wanted to make sure was that we tested it, and so we tested it at 6 times the amount of traffic that we experienced during Hurricane Beryl. You know, right now on our outage tracker, you can also report an outage. We have a new feature that you can go out and report a hazard. We need a little information from you though when you go report that hazard. Go out and snap a picture, give us your name, your phone number, your address, so that we can make sure that we get the right crews out to make the area safe so we can get your power restored faster. We've also made enhancements to our websites. We have a new mobile app that we just launched in March. So I encourage everybody to go out, upload and download our mobile app. It's available in the Android market, the Apple market. It's available right now. It has links to our outage tracker, to our website. You can report an outage via our mobile app as well too. So I encourage everybody to go out and do that.
Best text I ever got was, good news, you're back on.
Getting there too. So Power Alert Service. It is a free service that's available for our customers right now. I encourage everybody to go out, sign up for Power Alert Services. We will send you outage notifications to let you know when your power's out, when your power's back on. We'll show your estimated time of restoration. Some of that same stuff you can find in Outage Tracker. Go in, type in your address, address. It'll zoom into your specific home. It'll show you on and off status at your premise, and it'll also share an estimated time of restoration with you if it's available.
Yeah. Clarify this for us, because a lot of people have their who they get their power from, their service company, they get it from, and they call them.
Right.
They're not the ones responsible for maintenance and getting us back powered up in the whole bit. Explain how that works.
Yeah, so think about us as the intermediary between the generation companies and the customers themselves. So our job is to really maintain the power lines, ensure that power can get from the generators to the customers. And so when storms come through, it's up to us to be able to roll our trucks as quickly and safely as possible to get the power back on.
Yeah, all right. You have new technologies on the operational side as well.
Yeah, so this is kind of an exciting front when we think about it. So we have, partnered with several firms to be able to do more visualization of the data, be able to do predictive modeling for emergency response. Really, all of this is going to help us to be able to respond quicker to emergencies, to be more efficient on our crew utilization, and really reduce the outage time. So when we think about like the resiliency and all the things that we're trying to do, it's really about making our grid hardened. So when these big events come through, we can't prevent outages. Our goal is really to minimize the outage time. So when those storms come through, that we can get customers back on much quicker than we have before.
Yeah. Can you, and I know this is much more detailed than we have time to talk about, but kind of explain, we say get the power back on. Immediately when someone's power goes out, and it's usually not like one person, it's like, oh, thousands are out right now.
That's right.
The process of getting it back on, because first you got to figure out why it went out. So when it's not, power can go out at any given time. We know it's happened, even when there's not a storm. But first, after a storm, it's just you have so many people at one time.
That's right.
But what it takes to go through that process, and by the way, a lot of the people who are in restoring are not even from the Houston area.
That's
you
correct.
have people staged who, when we know a storm is coming from, different countries and around the country, poised and ready to go.
Yeah, what we have, when we have a big event, so like after Hurricane Beryl we brought over 10,000 resources from all across the United States, including Canada that came in. And so first thing we need to do is really identify where are the outages happening. So we'll work through to figure out what was the cause. So it was damage assessing our system. Then what we do is we prioritize the restoration based off critical care customers first, and then largest customers to the fewest amount. So it's really working to be most efficient by getting the critical care customers on and then going through that.
Yeah, and there's some things that we can do. It's like, when you're cutting trees back, you try to be nice about it, but the bottom line is you don't want someone's power to go out. So if you know you got a tree that's hanging over that power line, you can put in a call and you all can come out and address that for us.
That's correct. Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, all right. First line of defense right there. Gentlemen, thank you very much. Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Let's just fingers crossed and high five that we do not have that kind of event this year. No derechos, no hurricanes, or no named storms that we don't know about, like derecho. Okay. All right. Centerpoint Energy is ready for hurricane season and encourages customers to prepare as well. Download the Centerpoint Energy mobile app on the Google Play or Apple Store and enroll in Power Alert service for outage and restoration notifications at centerpointenergy.com/Power Alert service. For more information on their Greater Houston Resiliency Initiative, visit centerpointenergy.com/taking action. We'll be right back.